So we had a client who really wanted to sell their home and needed to sell their home, and we were able to advise them, help them sell their home in 7 days, firm offer, 150 showings, and we got 5 offers on offer date. And we're gonna tell you what's going on with sellers in the market, because sellers are having a tough time selling right now, and what you can do to stand out above all the other sellers and get the buyers who are looking to buy and make a move right now. I'm Bwanka with the Compass team.
And it's Safras.
And today we're going to be talking about what's going on in the market and what's going on with sellers. So Safras, both of us, we're seeing it all the time, but let's kind of dive into what's going on. Why are sellers having trouble selling their homes right now?
Well, I think the number one issue that the sellers are having is they think it's 2022. They think it's 2023. But especially these days, there's a ton of inventory on the market. Doesn't matter where you go, right? Whether you go in East York, you go to Vaughan, you go to Pickering, there's so much inventory. And what that means, to the seller is that there's competition. So you can't expect, a comparison that sold maybe 6 months ago. Sometimes we can't even use that. That's what we're running into in terms of trouble. So we always advise the sellers, how urgent is it for you to sell? I think the number one advice for some sellers is just hold your horses. If you don't need to sell, why try to do it right now?
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest things is like, why do you need to sell? Now, if you need to sell, now we're going to get into the tips of like, here's what you need to do if you need to sell. But again, the market isn't where it used to be, and now things are going to be a lot tougher if you do want to sell. But one thing that we are seeing is beautiful homes. Those are the ones that are having competition. But if they show well, if someone can see themselves in it, if someone walks into it and falls in love with it, they will pay for it. But people are not overpaying right now.
Absolutely. We're still seeing multiple offers on the 10 out of 10 homes, as we call it. Everything is beautiful. It's in a desirable area. Everything is perfect about the home, but it's not like, again, yesters. It's what you're expecting is just at market value. You're not seeing bully offers. You're not seeing people go 20% over market value. To be honest, those days are really over.
Okay, so let's talk about if you could give 3 tips, or if you would say, what are going to be the 3 most important things that a seller can do before they come to market. And now your location doesn't matter, the type of home that you have doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All it is what are 3 things that anybody can do right now?
I think what we've been able to implement, especially with our last couple sales, is we're depersonalizing homes. If there's any small work that you can do, we do it, right? So painting, change some light fixtures, make sure the place is fabulously cleaned, and professional photos and videos. Every small step, it helps at a percentage point, but they all accumulate to a faster sale.
So when you say depersonalize, elaborate on what you mean more when you say depersonalize.
So let's say you have a picture of your partner, your kids, your dog, the street that you grew up on, whatever it is. You want to remove it because we want the buyers to come in and say, you know what, this is my home. I can envision myself living here. And it's harder to do that when you're looking at the wall and you're seeing a family already living there. It's really hard to do that, to be honest.
Yeah. So even like when you talk about painting and cleaning, those are things as well. Like when somebody walks into a home, even if you can move out of it, it's not the easiest thing. It's not the most cost-effective thing. But a lot of times that opens the door for a lot more a lot more buyers to be able to come in, to view your property. And once you move out of it, now you can make it like nobody lives here. And when someone can walk into something and say nobody lives here, someone can walk in and say, oh, this can be mine. I can see my bed going here. I can see the sofa going here. I can see, oh, we're gonna put the TV on the wall. You know what, we're gonna get a projector and we're gonna put it on the wall. So all of those things become easier to see when nobody's stuff is in the house.
100%. Even with that recent sale that we did last week, that we had over 150 showings, sellers, we asked them to move out, and when they did that, then you were able to paint, make sure the house was fully staged, very neutral, very bright, very welcoming is probably the word. So when people walked in, everybody said they loved it. All we did, they said, oh, is this a newly renovated house? It was newer of a renovation. It wasn't a brand new reno, but we made sure that we projected that this is right now the best house on that street in that marketplace.
Yeah. So we said depersonalize the house.
Absolutely.
Painting and updating fixtures. Light fixtures are easy to update. Even like handles on cupboards, something like that. It's very easy, it's cheap, it's cost effective. And the third thing is also going to be decluttering the home. Basically, getting as much stuff out of your home as possible. And the reason being is because your home is a space. You want to really showcase that space. And when you have something in every nook and cranny in every single corner that there is, you're not going to feel, it just makes your home look smaller and people can't. I'll give you a perfect example. I had a client before and they had such a nice kitchen. It was beautifully renovated and they wanted to rent the place out. And what they did was they just had just some random pictures. And what I told the person, I said, listen, like, if you want to get this place, like your kitchen is so beautiful, you need to showcase your kitchen. They didn't want to work with the agent before, and then we talked and we said, okay, you know what? We need to like get everything off of the countertops because there's so much stuff on the countertops. We took everything off of the countertops. We took new pictures. We didn't like change all lights and everything like that. But what I'm trying to say is something so small as just taking everything off of the countertops and doing new pictures is gonna make your house show completely different. And then you can see, oh, look how beautiful this kitchen is.
Absolutely. And another thing I think the challenge that we're seeing is that, like I said earlier, it's the sellers are focused on, 2022 prices, maybe 2021 prices. That's the biggest challenge I'm seeing. Well, my neighbor down the street sold for XYZ. My house is better today. I deserve more. And that's the challenge we're having on both sides, right? Our sellers as well as our buyers are seeing that when we're putting in the offers, sellers are saying we're not going to sell it for that. And some properties are on the market for over 6 months to 9 months. And eventually, slowly but steadily, you see every month, every couple of weeks, they decrease the price until they settle on what is today's market price. And sometimes I'm seeing, had they decreased the price to the correct price maybe 3 months ago, they would have made a substantial amount of more money. And that's what we call don't catch a falling knife. Everybody, if the knife is falling, you're trying to catch it, you're just gonna get hurt. So it's better to be a little, nothing crazy, just a little ahead of the market. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, for sure. I completely agree. Like, pricing is very, very important. Everything that we talked about, that's great, but it doesn't matter if you don't have the right pricing.
Absolutely. If you overlist it, you might not get any viewings. And guess what? No viewings equals no offers, which means you will not be able to sell. So that's why, of course, the pictures are important, the video, the marketing that we do, all the extra stuff is important, but the list price is definitely right now the number one detail that your agent, we focus on very heavily. Sit down with our owners and say, this is what we think in today's market.
So now that's going to bring us back to what we started with in the beginning, is like, where is your pricing? Do you actually want to sell?
It's really important.
It's not a good time to just be out there testing the market, because even Safras, you talked about, some people 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 180 days. Like, you also have to remember, there's people coming in and out of your house. Every single time someone comes into your house, you want it to be ready. You can't be in there cooking, chefing up a meal, having people over, changing your plans. You gotta get out. Like, you want to be accommodating to people who are looking to come into your house. So there's also that stress of my home always has to be ready to show when somebody is going to be coming. Now you also have the stress of maybe you've already bought. If you've already bought, you might be in an even bigger issue. I personally, me right now, I'm recommending sell first and then buy.
Absolutely. Like, I have a little story. So I was had a client looking for a house, and I was looking at the history of the house, and over 6 months, they decreased the price about $600,000 over 6 months.
What was the list price to start?
The original list price was about $2.1 million.
Okay.
And they decreased by 30. Then it went back up. Maybe they tried to do an offer date. Then they decreased it, and then they decreased it. And again, let's say they had 100 people go through during those 6 months. As the price is going down, maybe they've already bought. So your marketplace for that, especially at a that high of a price point, is getting narrower, narrower, and narrower. And because you weren't realistic at the time with the value of the property, they waited. I heard they declined offers $200K above what my client got it for just a month ago, right? So it's stuff like that where, had they just said, hey, you know what, we'll be a little aggressive and be ahead of the market, I would say easily they would have pocketed 100 to 200K more in that 2-month time frame.
Yeah, so I guess another one of the tips is like, don't be greedy. If you actually have to sell, don't be greedy. Don't be stuck on all these other prices. What you have to realize is like, even in the market, the way the market is right now, just selling your home alone is not easy. It's not easy to even sell your home. To sell your home and get a great price, that's very difficult. I mean, we're able to help people do that, but it's also very difficult. So when you're choosing the real estate agent that you're going to be working with, or maybe you're going to be working with yourself, I mean, with some of these tips that we've given, it's going to help, but you have to know the market, and your agent should be showing you, here's what's happening in the market, here's the months of inventory, because right now months of inventory is higher than we've had in the last decade. And that just means if all the homes we're going to sell, like if no new homes came to the market, right now we're around 4 months of inventory. So it'll take 4 months for all of these homes to be able to sell with no new homes coming to the market. So there's a lot that's available right now. And buyers are out there, and buyers are they're taking their time. Maybe I could get a great deal on this one. No, you guys don't want to take it? Okay, let me go to the next one. There was a property that and me and my client went to, and we were $5,000 off on pricing. And my client was the buying side. My client said, they won't even give me $5,000 off?
Yeah.
There's no way they're not going to give me. This property is still available today. She just closed on her property yesterday, and that property is still available today. So if you're getting greedy for an extra $5,000, just know there's 5 more houses just as good, maybe even better than yours, that somebody else will take, and they're just putting an offer on yours right now because they just saw your property right now. So these are things that you have to keep in mind as a seller.
Yep, it's really important. So with that, with his recent client, if you say, over the 5K that they fought and it was 3 months, a seller's 3-month holding cost is substantially more than that 5K. They should have just, bit the bullet and said, you know what, these people are serious. They have a good offer that's firm, no conditions, ideal time frame. There's a lot of other factors besides price, and they would have been sold by now. But now, maybe it's been 2 months. What if they don't sell for another 2 months, and then the new buyer wants to close? It's again a 6-month process that can easily cost someone 15 to 20 grand, depending on the current holding costs, right?
Yeah. Okay, so we got, don't be greedy. That's for sure, number 1. But still, get as much money as you can. Declutter the house, depersonalize the house, and do things to spruce it up, like painting, changing out fixtures. And then again, number 1, price. Make sure you're priced properly, and you gotta price aggressively if you really want to sell. Safras, do you have any more tips or anything else you want to say?
I think we covered all of the basics, and the advanced. I think marketing, of course, all of these things. I always say it's maybe a 1% here, 2% here, but when you accumulate everything, which is what we try to do, that's when you get the best bang for your buck in terms of the seller.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm gonna give you guys a quick example. I tell this to people all the time. So you can take a Honda and you can take a Lamborghini. They're both cars. Well, roughly how much do you think a Honda costs?
$30,000.
And a Lamborghini?
$300,000.
They're both cars. They both drive. You press the gas, both of them go. One goes faster than the other one. But Honda is made in about a couple of hours. Lamborghini takes months to make. And then it's all just like very, very little things. The brakes, the calipers, the tires. Like it's all just so many small things put together that create that one lump price. So when we keep talking about like doing all these small things. Yeah, you might think, oh, it's not that important, but when you do all of these things as one, that's when you're going to be able to get the most money for your house, be able to sell your house, and that's what we were able to do with the property that we just sold, 34 Denton.
Absolutely, totally agree with all of that.
Yeah. So if you're thinking about selling your house, I mean, it's not the greatest time to sell. I'm gonna let you know straight up. But if you are thinking about selling your property, down below, you can always reach out to us. We have a link there. You can set up a time for us to meet. We're looking forward to meeting you. We're looking forward to seeing you. Again, I'm Bwanka.
And it's Safras.
And we are the Compass team. And we hope to see you soon.